I'm sorry, but anyway, I feel it's a big
Actually, I just want to follow up on that. My mom actually stuttered, and even at 95, when the last couple of years, the last year of her life, she still had a stutter from time to time when she got tired, as you said. How were you actually able to overcome it? I mean, how did you learn how to do that with the writing?
Well, what I did was, I didn't have professional help, but I had 3 things going for me. I had a mother who had a backbone like a ramrod, and she'd go, Joey, look at me. Look at me, Joey. You're handsome, you're smart, you're a good athlete, Joey. Don't let this define you, Joey. Remember who you are, Joey. You can do it. And so every time I'd walk out, she'd reinforce me. I know that sounds silly, but it really matters. The worst thing a parent can do is finish the kid's sentence. Mom, I want, you want what? Don't finish their sentences, number 1. Number 2, what I found was I practiced. You know, all my colleagues kid me, as you heard, about always quoting Irish poets. Well, I had a book of Yeats poetry because my uncle Ed Finnegan loved Yeats. And we had a small bedroom with 4 bunks in it. I mean, 2 bunks, it's 4 beds. And occasionally he was a traveling salesman. When he'd be down in Delaware, he'd sleep with us. And I'd get up in the night, in the middle of the night with a flashlight. And I'd look in the mirror and I would try to memorize what I could in another small book on Emerson quotes. I remember the first one, looking in the mirror with a flashlight in my face because you get embarrassed because you can tort your face. And it's embarrassing. And so I'd stand there and say, meek young men, grow up in libraries, believe it is the duty to accept the words of Cicero, Bacon, and Locke, forgetful that Cicero, Bacon, and Locke were only young men in libraries with themselves. Or, you know, history teaches us not to hope on this side of the grave, but then once in a lifetime, that longed for tidal wave of justice rises up and hope and history rhyme. I would practice and practice and practice because I was determined to overcome it. I was led to believe I could, and I basically did. And it's not appropriate for me to ask you about your mom, but your mom was an incredible lady. No, she was an incredible lady. And the idea that Gloria Vanderbilt would be in a position where she stuttered, I want everybody to know that we can get through this. What's the one thing you're concerned about most when you have a real problem? And it's devastating to you. And someone comes up and says, I know how you feel. And you know they have no idea how you feel. But someone who comes up to you and says, I've been through this. I can tell you, I know how you feel. You immediately say, tell me. Because all people are looking for is to say, you made it. It's possible to make it, huh? It's possible to make it. How many of you lost someone to cancer? Raise your hand. Husband. Okay. When someone comes up, that person you lost, you say, I know how you feel. And they have no idea if they haven't lost someone. But if they have, you know, you look at them and you say intuitively, I guess there's a way through. I guess I can make this. I guess I can make it. My mom had an expression. She said, Joey, you're defined by your courage and redeemed by your loyalty. You're defined by your courage and redeemed by your loyalty. It really is about reaching out. And I don't want to I'm not making this political, but that's what I find so reprehensible about what's going on now. We're not, in my household, and in mine with my children as well, no matter how bitter the fight is with a friend or anyone else, you could never say something about them that was true. I mean, you could never say something, if they were ugly, you couldn't say you ugly so-and-so. You could say you're a jerk. No, I really mean it. Because things that people cannot control, it's not their fault. No one has a right. No one has a right to mock it and make fun of it, no matter who they are. I probably got in trouble for saying I empathize with Rush Limbaugh dying of cancer. I don't like him at all, but he's going through hell right now. He's a human being. We just have to reach out a little more for people, man. We don't do it enough. We've got to heal this country. We didn't used to do it. We didn't used to be like this. Somewhere where we weren't as a nation, we weren't like this. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yep.